Hi, my name is David Herbst. I'm the State Director with Americans for Prosperity Montana. We're Montana's largest grassroots advocacy group for a free and open, a mutually beneficial society defined by equal rights, openness, and tolerance. We're a group that organizes all across Montana to build coalitions of people who are interested in advancing freedom and in keeping government in its proper role and not allowing government to become a barrier for people. So we're here today with Patrick Webb with Americans for Prosperity Montana. Also, he's our lead lobbyist here at the Capitol. We're coming to you today at 1889, a coffee shop here in Helena who does just wonderful coffee, great food, and they were kind enough to allow us to set up in a corner and get some time on film. We are in a coffee shop, though, so I hope that the audio comes through okay and that the background noise is all right. We'll have to do some work on, finding other spots if otherwise. But I'm really happy to be here today and to make this audio recording work. And of course, video joining us on Facebook and YouTube. So, Patrick, I want to let people get to know you a little bit and your job here at the Capitol. So, could you just tell me a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I was originally born in Bozeman, moved to Helena about 3 years ago, started my working for Congressman Steve Daines at the time, and really just enjoyed being where the action was, and decided that I was going to continue that path forward. My first experience up at the state legislature was working for then Senate Majority Leader Matt Rosendale. He had a lot of grace with me that first time, and because I had never done it before. It's definitely like drinking from a fire hydrant if you've never done it before. But had a great experience working the session in 15. Moved on to work for Senator Daines as Southwestern Field Representative. Got to travel around southwestern Montana and meet with all kinds of stakeholders. And then I moved on. Just before this, I was the executive director of the Montana Republican Party. And then came over here just before the primary, and I've been loving it since then. I was actually the grassroots director. I am, and kind of transitioning into a lobbying role now. So it's a different type of grassroots. It's working with legislators instead of our community members a lot. So.
And you're originally from Bozeman, and you played it with the Bozeman Hawks.
I did, yeah. I actually had the opportunity to play 1 year for the Bobcats as well. When I say play, I mean I got in one game, but I have a 100% free throw record at MSU with 2 for 2, so that's good.
All right. So, what's it like working at the Capitol?
Yeah. So, I like to tell people the first time I came to the legislature in 15 to work, it's dark out. You get there early, hopefully, leave late when it's dark, hopefully, if you're getting your work done. And it just lights up when you see it. And it's the building, the Capitol building, and it's so beautiful. You go in and it's just, the decorations, if you've never been to the Capitol, it's very eye-pleasing. But the history there, it's just such an honor to be able to go there and work. There's only been 66 sessions. So there's only been 66 times that people have been able to go work there, unless people are working during interim committees and things like that. But it's just it's a humbling experience to be able to say I get to go to work here every single day, and I have a place here, so to speak. It's a great opportunity. Lots of different opinions and ideas flowing through that building. So it's a good place to be.
And what are legislators like?
Yeah, I mean they're our neighbors. They're everyday people for the most part. They have their passions that they are constantly fighting for, and they range from all kinds of different viewpoints. But they're pretty easygoing. I think a lot of people have this kind of mindset that they're pretty intimidating people to go talk to, but they want to hear from you. They want you to go talk to them, tell them your point of view, even if it's not the same point of view. They are willing to have conversations for the most part. But they're just like us. They want to be treated with respect. They want to have good conversations and try to make Montanans' lives better.
And what's the big story of this legislative session? What are the big threads that people are going to be talking about?
Yeah, I think the big one right now is there's a big fight in the rules House Rules Committee right now. Yesterday was the first day of session, and the House voted to change the rules and basically took it from a supermajority of 60 votes down to 58 votes in order to blast a bill out from a committee so that the entire House can vote on it on the floor or discuss it on the floor at least. So that was a deal that was brokered, and there's factions that are happy about it. There's some that are not happy about it, but that's kind of a developing story. I would imagine that we'll see some minor rule changes from here on out, but vote threshold is very important because that will really dictate what types of bills get through committees. And we have 3,000 bills, I think they said already. So, legislature has 45 days pretty much before transmittal, before they have to transfer bills to the other house. They only have 45 days to hear these bills, so it's about 70 bills in a day. And so, some bills have to be cut out. I mean, that's just the weed out process. Not every bill is meant to be law. So, yeah, it's a developing story, but there's a lot of passion and a lot of interest in that right now.
So what is Americans of Prosperity, what's the lead issues that we're going with this session?
Yeah, so, we are, for the first time, I believe, in Montana working on criminal justice reform, which is very exciting. We have some very unique partners that we're working with, and, that is an issue that affects so many Montanans. It is so important that we try to find some common ways that we can make people's lives better in that arena. One type of bill that we're looking at has to do with driver's license suspension. In Montana, if you do not have a driver's license, that is your economic means. You cannot get to your job, you cannot go grocery shopping, you can't provide for your family, nothing. So we're trying to look at ways to reform that to make sure, absolutely sure, that we are only taking that away from people that are, severe risks to society. Otherwise, we run into some problems with cutting people's ability out from under them to be able to, come back from the mistake that they made and get into a cycle of dependency and things like that, and it's just not helpful for anyone.
So, other issues that we might be engaging on?
Yeah, of course. Privacy is a big area that we're looking at. Technology is just advancing so quickly, and it's so difficult for us to stay in the limelight of what that discussion is. I think our legislators, it's tough for them to stay up to speed on all those ideas. There will be various tax increase pushes that will come through that we will engage in. Medicaid expansion will be up again this year. Those are another really interesting one that we're going to be working on has to do with free speech on campus. That's been a big issue, especially up at the University of Montana recently. This idea of having free speech zones is just contrary to the intent of the First Amendment. So that's something that we need to have a serious discussion about this session as well.
Yeah. As far as when we're describing our mission to legislators, because AFP has such a different mission. We're not just going there saying, hey, I'm with the oil lobby, help me out with, my industry, or hey, I'm with the, the manufacturers union or some other interest group. We're a general interest group. We're about the general interest, or about a philosophical alignment where we're encouraging a particular kind of vision for society rather than just trying to defend a small group of people of some sort that wants to ensure their interest in the legislature. How do you talk to legislators about our mission and help them kind of see the different role that we play?
Yeah, it can definitely be difficult. I think one way that I like to talk about it is, we are here to break down barriers, internal barriers that people have as far as mindsets go to what is possible in their own lives, to what is possible for our society, and also breaking down external barriers where government gets in the way of people's ability to find fulfillment in their own lives. It's a serious problem that affects every single person in Montana. And it's it can sometimes be difficult for legislators to feel like that's all you're trying to do, because for the most part, when they're having discussions with other industry lobbyists, it's, we're trying to get more money into this program or to, for this purpose, but we're not trying to find money, buckets of money. We are trying to free people from their own internal shackles that they have, as well as external shackles that sometimes the government places on them, or the business. It's difficult to discuss with legislators on, but I think that they appreciate it. They like to know that there are, that there's a solid group out there that is working for the people, in a general point of view.
So, what can folks, viewers do? What can our people who are in our field communities or are interested in joining a field community, what can they do to help you here at the Capitol implement this vision and help legislators understand, the right way to vote on these things, or talk to Montanans about these sorts of things? Like, what can they do?
Yeah, so there's a variety of ways. We just got done with a legislative boot camp, is what we call it, and we had about 25 individuals come from all across Montana, and they came and they learned how to testify on a bill. They first learned how a bill becomes a law. It seems like something that you would know, but it's actually a pretty complicated process, and our legislators for sure know that. But we trained all these individuals on ways that they can hold their elected leaders accountable. We may do other trainings in the future. We don't have anything specifically like that planned again. We are doing a Capitol briefing series that is largely intended to help provide some resources to our legislators on different issue areas such as criminal justice reform, school choice, things like that. Our community members, if they want to come to something like that, they are more than welcome to. They just need to contact anyone at Americans for Prosperity Montana, Kaylee Cunningham, our field director in Bozeman, yourself or myself. Another couple ways that they can get involved is a really cool website that we have. It's called I Volunteer, and they can go there. They can see a range of different issues based off of their geographic location, of ways that they can communicate with their federally elected leaders as well as statewide elected leaders. And as time goes on and these battles continue to progress and we start to see what the shape of this legislature is going to take, we will be consistently sending out these types of video podcasts, so to speak, as well as information in emails, newsletters, things like that, where we will be trying to engage individuals. And please contact me if you're interested in getting involved. It's pwebb, W-E-B-B, at AFP-HQ.org. And I would be happy to find a way that we can get you plugged into some things that we're doing. And it would be great to have anyone. Yeah,
or they can comment below this video, or you can send us a message at the official AFP page, because we get back to people on that as well. And just lastly, so the Capitol Briefing Series is an exciting new series that we're putting together here. Could you tell viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're kicking it off with criminal justice reform. We are partnering with the ACLU on that event. That is a unique partnership for us, but we will work with anyone to do good. And we find that we have some things in common as far as ideas about how we can make Montanans' lives better in that area. So we want to work together. We want to bring people together. That's a big purpose of this, is to bring people with different opposing viewpoints together to hash out some of these ideas. And so criminal justice reform, we have a school choice, one that we're going to be doing with the Montana Family Foundation. There'll be some other partners in that possibly as well. We're going to do something on the budget and long-term fiscal sanity is what we're calling it, just to take a good look at the Montana state budget and see where it's at. It always seems like no one really knows where the budget actually is. So it's a hard thing to pinpoint. We want to be able to educate people on that. There's a range of some other ones as well. We're also going to be including a couple fun things that are, not necessarily meant to educate, so to speak, but meant to be kind of a form of entertainment to bring us together. I don't really want to talk too much about that yet, but it's going to be a pretty exciting event. And at the end of this whole thing, we're going to do a recap of the victories of our AFP community and stakeholders, as well as take a look at what's coming up for the intern, because once this is done in 90 days, it keeps going through the intern.
That's right.
And we want to be able to continue to keep people engaged, because the people's work goes on year-round. It's not just every other year for 90 days. These intern committees go on year-round, and these legislators are having conversations year-round on different ideas of how they want to change Montana law. So we want to be a part of that conversation and bring in our community and people like you to have that conversation as well.
Wonderful, awesome. So thank you so much for watching. Coming up real soon, we got criminal justice reform in only a few days on the 10th, and then 2 weeks after that is when Age Capital Briefing happens. So the next one is the 24th on school choice and educational freedom. So we have a lot of other stuff coming up, a lot of events, a lot of lobbying to do. Once again, if you want to volunteer, if you want to testify, if you want to be enabled to have an effect at the legislature, please comment on this video, send us a message, something, and we'll reach out. Thank you much for watching, and have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good day.